Hi, everyone. Welcome into Lctv 66 Inside Sports. Alongside Nick Dianastasis, I'm Eric May. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to talk some NFL as we now head into the final stretch of the regular season. And I can't believe it, Nick. This season is flying by. I mean, here we are, heading down the stretch, and it seems like the season just started.
I know. Where is the time? I know the year just started. Here we're almost the end of 2024. Is only a month away, of course, from that happening. So the new year comes in.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some things here. In the NFL, some impressive showings to date. Now, granted, with still more things to come. Let's first start in the AFC. I think in the AFC East, I think a lot of people were thinking maybe this was going to be a really competitive division, but Buffalo's saying, no, we want no part of that. We're gonna go and take it, and they clinched it early.
Yeah, and I tell you, the Bills have done another really great start this year. They've just done an outstanding job. Josh Allen, one of the best young veteran quarterbacks in all the NFL, without question. And nicely finding Mongo was back and knocked off the Chiefs the first time in a while in Buffalo last time they played them.
Yep, and still trying to shoot for that number one seed. And I was thinking about Buffalo because they traded Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis was a free agent. He left. So here's two key components of this offense and guys that Josh Allen wanted to throw to. Now they're gone. Now they bring in some new receivers. I was really wondering what this was going to do to the Bills' offense. Hasn't affected them one bit.
No, it hasn't. And I tell you, it's amazing. The head coach of the Bills, that's right, he coached under Andy Reid with the Eagles a long time ago at one point. Andy Reid is assistant coach.
Well, another one,
from the Eagles days, way back. And you know what? It's amazing how many good coaches under Andy Reid with the Eagles became good head coaches elsewhere. Sean Payton, of course, with the Saints at one, won a Super Bowl with the Saints, back in 2009 when they had Drew Brees.
Right.
A great, amazing team they had there.
Well, same thing in Green Bay when Paul Holmgren was the head coach. There was a number of assistants that went on to become head coaches as well. Sticking with the AFC, and especially in the East, and again, here's a team I think a lot of people thought was going to be a playoff team this year, was the New York Jets. They thought, all right, well, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to last more than 4 plays. He's going to last an entire season. It has not happened with the Jets. They're going to have yet another losing season, change in head coach, change in GM. What do you do if you're the Jets?
I tell you that what the Jets got, when the Jets get their permanent new head coach in and build with that, they got to trip the NFL draft, make some few big trade up, get some top-notch talent, maybe the first or second round, and then also possibly sign some good free agent players. They might be free agents more looking for big bucks. It was all pro somewhere at one team looking to play elsewhere the next year. And I think Aaron Rodgers, they might have to trade him away to another team to give him a fresh start somewhere else so he can have a better team around him. He can go further, in the race, maybe further into playoffs, a better team around him. Of course, Aaron Rodgers needs to stay healthy, guys. He's like 41 years old now.
He's 41.
41. He's hoping to stay healthy as much as he can for the next year and have a chance to get back to his old form he was with Green Bay. Who won 4 MVP awards.
All right.
And a Super Bowl title.
Okay, so now you've got the Jets GM hat on, okay? Do you bring Aaron Rodgers back next year, or do you cut ties and move on?
I think because he's a great veteran, legend type of experienced quarterback, I'd bring him in. And you know what I think I'd do? I'd make a trade NFL draft and get a frontline blue chip quarterback. Aaron Rodgers should be willing to groom him in before Aaron Rodgers hopefully retires in a couple of years then.
Well,
a couple more years. Tom Brady retired at, of course, at 45. Obviously, it's an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that is the exception.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see then, too, where the Jets end up as far as the draft is concerned. So if they get a high draft pick, they very well could be going after a quarterback in that first round. In the AFC Central, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and when they signed Russell Wilson, I was thinking to myself, he just doesn't seem like a Pittsburgh guy. For some reason, just didn't seem like he fit. He has played well. They have struggled scoring touchdowns. now heading down the stretch of the season, it's going to be make or break here for the Steelers. What's your take on Russell Wilson and the Steelers?
I give him like a Russell Wilson having the kind of year he had when he's with the Seattle Seahawks back like in his glory days. I mean, all pro caliber quarterback. It's incredible. And here with it, Denver Broncos, unfortunately, he was a flop there for around 2 years. Things just didn't work out for him there.
Mm-hmm.
But now all of a sudden, now he's with Steelers and he's really starting quarterback. Now all of a sudden he's maybe 34, 35, 36. He has been, I guess, at this point. I'd be up there in age.
Yeah.
I'd say mid-30s, maybe
35.
35 at least. He seems to become like the quarterback he was in Seattle, that all-pro caliber quarterback that went to 9 Pro Bowls, the 2 Super Bowls, and won one. Should have won the second one.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll made a bad decision. Instead of having to throw a pass, stupid, you're down there to a 5-10 yard line with 15, 20 seconds left.
Yep.
And Rashawn Lynch run around in and go in the end zone. Better chance of he's winning the Super Bowl. Didn't know where I wanted. No, a better chance to win.
And another
That second one, they went 2 in a row.
Yeah, that one will be talked about forever and a day.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens. They bring in Henry to be the ball carrier, and he's having a tremendous season. But this is a defense that's been giving up a lot of points. Is this a team that could make a run in the playoffs?
Absolutely, they could. Lamar Jackson, he's an all-pro MVP caliber quarterback. No, he was a Heisman winner back in Louisville. Maybe around a sophomore when he won or something like that, several years back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think John Harbaugh, really good guy. He's a great NFL coach, one of the best there ever was.
Yeah, he's been and another guy under Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they said he was a quarterback in Miami of Ohio back during his playing days. I don't think he played NFL, but he was a starting quarterback, supposedly, in Miami, Ohio for 2 or 3 years before beginning his coaching career after he graduated from Miami of Ohio.
I did not know that. There's another one you have
as a player in college.
Okay. All right. Another team. I mean, granted, they're winning the division, but I thought the Houston Texans would have been a much sharper team this year, and I thought would have had a better record than what they currently have. I think it was so up and down this year based on the success they had last year. But again, developing a young quarterback in C.J. Stroud, I think, Houston is going to no doubt benefit with all the draft picks they got from Cleveland in that Deshaun Watson trade. I think this is going to be a team that I think could definitely be something we'll be talking about for years to come.
I think so, yes. Houston just needs to find ways, maybe make a few more trades to get some good experience with wide receivers. How it makes C.J. Stroud the kind of quarterback he had a chance of becoming an all-pro caliber for years to come in Houston.
And then there's a team out in Kansas City that, on the verge of, 9 straight division championships, looking for a three-peat as far as Super Bowls are concerned. Is this year's Kansas City team, is this a Super Bowl caliber team?
I'd have to say yes. Why? Because it's based on consistency. Sure, they want a lot of close games lucky to win, which they did. But I admit, I guess the only thing that matters is they find ways to win, whether it's 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, or 10 points.
Okay. All right. Buffalo's already won the East. Kansas City's on the verge of winning the West. Do the Steelers hold on and win the North?
I'd say the way Steelers play, great possibility they probably will.
Okay. Do the Texans hold on and win the South?
I think somehow they can turn around, at least win their division.
Okay. All right. So let's switch over now to the NFC. And the Philadelphia Eagles have just really gotten better as the season has gone on. And without a doubt, Saquon Barkley, not only the MVP for the Eagles, but I think really making a very solid point to be the MVP of the league this year.
Absolutely agree with 100%. He's playing like the running back he was in his Penn State days. A great caliber running back. Of course, he's really good with the Giants. 4th all-time leading rusher in history, which isn't bad for a guy who's only there 6 years.
Yeah.
I think he did pretty good. And I bet he had some lousy teams around him with the Giants as well. He had to deal with around him, trying to get better.
And you're an Eagles fan.
Big Eagles fan, yeah.
So how do you feel about the Cowboys?
Well, I tell you, the Cowboys, I'll admit, they always find ways. Usually they play the Eagles tough most of the time. I mean, a tough break for the Cowboys. They lost Dak Prescott the rest of the year for that, torn hamstring injury or whatever, the surgery had. That's a tough, big blow to them. You're starting quarterback. I mean, it's hard to really be the same team, of course, after that. Some teams can do it, some can't.
Yeah.
Nice, he replaces them,
So
as a backup quarterback.
You taking any pleasure in the fact that Dallas is struggling this year?
Well, I tell you, the thing is, the Eagles still have
You
to play
can be
Cowboys
honest.
one more time.
You can be
For
honest.
bragging rights, their arch rival,
All right. Now, here's another division that I thought it really kind of surprised me, and that's the NFC North. Detroit Lions are really riding on the success they had last year, but Minnesota, I didn't think would have this kind of year. Sam Darnold has been basically revitalized his career. Green Bay with Jordan Love, he's developing into a pro quarterback. We could see 3 playoff teams from the NFC North.
I'd say it's a great possibility. Yeah, Eagles, Vikings, and Lions. At least I can't count out either. Green Bay Packers, what are they 8-3 now? At least something like that. And Jordan Love's done a great job as successor to Aaron Rodgers for the future of Green Bay as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think that could just be a tremendous race down the rest of the last couple weeks of the season. The NFC South, this is up for grabs. I mean, Atlanta started out great. Now they have struggled. Tampa Bay has been up and down this year. I think we'll only see one playoff team from the NFC South. Who wins the NFC South, Atlanta or Tampa Bay?
Well, I'll admit Tampa Bay's, they've been kind of up and down. So, that's a hard one. I'm gonna say it might end up being. Oh, whose other teams might have a shot besides them to win the NFC South? Besides the 2 teams you mentioned.
I mean, New Orleans is 2 games behind in the standings. I think really it's going to come down to Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I'll go out on a limb on one of those 2. So who do you like between Atlanta and Tampa to win that division?
I hope Tampa Bay wins. They're my second favorite team. But you know what? I might go with Atlanta this time to win that division.
And obviously you're taking the Eagles to win the
They have Kirk
East.
Cousins, a good All-Pro quarterback for
Okay.
years, and with 4 different teams he's been with, something like that.
Okay.
That guy at Michigan State, pretty good quarterback.
I didn't get a prediction. Do the Lions hold on and win the NFC North?
I think absolutely do.
Okay.
The way the Lions are playing, I think
All right.
the Lions are the team to beat in the NFC to get the Super Bowl. The Lions are just that good.
Okay.
Because you know why? Came so close last year again. They just happened. They blew it. The NFC Championship against the 49ers.
Well,
they just didn't have enough left.
Speaking
Ran out
of
gas.
speaking of the 49ers, let's go to the NFC West. This team has just been decimated by injuries. I really don't see them making the playoffs, but they're only a couple of games behind because Seattle, Arizona, and the Rams all within a game of themselves. Who wins the NFC West?
NFC West. Okay. Let's say these teams again. Go ahead.
Seattle,
That's right. Seattle.
the Cardinals, or the Rams?
Okay. Seattle, the Cardinals, the Rams. Okay. I'm going to say I'll say Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to skip past the first round of the playoffs. Give me the 2 teams playing in the championship games for the AFC and the NFC. Let's start with the AFC first. Who are the 2 teams in the AFC championship game?
And in all likelihood, if things stay the way they are, when no teams all of a sudden fall apart, they're off to a great start, like the Chiefs and the Bills. It'll probably be Buffalo, Kansas City for the AFC Championship. They're right to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. Now, of course, with still getting some more games to play, nobody is qualified for that home field advantage yet. Okay. NFC, 2 teams playing in the championship game.
I'm going to say Detroit Lions for sure, the way they're playing. They're
Okay.
they're just an outstanding team. If the Eagles can keep being consistent the way they're playing, don't fall apart all of a sudden, I like a chance of playing the Eagles in that game.
Okay. So it's Detroit and Philly in the NFC Championship, Buffalo, Kansas City in the AFC Championship. Okay, one more step. Who's in the Super Bowl and who wins it?
I'm going to pick maybe sort of an upset from the AFC, maybe a little bit of surprise to some people. I'm going to say if Buffalo keeps playing the way they've been playing, they're going to finally knock the Chiefs out of Super Bowl and get that little monkey off their back there in that regard for Josh Allen's sake of the whole franchise.
Okay, so it's Buffalo in the AFC, and then who represents the NFC? Eagles or Lions?
Well, if the Eagles are playing in Detroit for the NFC Championship, I'll say it could very well be Detroit Lions getting the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They have a great chance to win it if it ends up playing in Detroit for the NFC Championship.
So it's Detroit and Buffalo in this. Well, that would be obviously different. Detroit's never been to a Super Bowl. All right. So now you have the two Super Bowl contenders. Who wins the Lombardi Trophy?
Oh my God! Let's see. That's a hard one. That's definitely a toss of two great teams.
I mean,
if it ends up that way, which
right.
it might.
Right.
Only if, of course, as we all know. I have a hunch it might be Detroit.
Okay, Detroit
Gutsy feeling
Lions.
might be Detroit Lions that win.
Super Bowl champions. Okay. Well, I have it written down. Plus, we have it on tape, so we can always go back to it.
Right. Exactly.
And all right, we'll see how your prognostications come out. It's it'd be nice. I mean, it'd be two different teams, obviously. So, okay. Well, we'll see how well your guesses are, Nick. And then obviously next time we get together, we'll be talking baseball again, probably.
You got it.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks for joining us here on LCTV 66 Inside Sports. For Nick Dianastasis, I'm Eric May.